is Providence, and I am the admission officer for Nexi Concepts Limited. So that means that I help you process your admissions, put in your applications, and follow up on it. And today we'll be having a wonderful time discussing personal statements. You know, how to write personal statements, what it is, the do's and don'ts, you know, and why you write it and why you should write it yourself. Hello, I see you. Hi. Thank you so much for joining us. And yes, I want to first of all use this opportunity to appreciate every one of you for joining us every Wednesday for our live sessions. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. Now, moving ahead, a personal statement, as you know or may not, is one of the vital documents that you need for your postgraduate application. Right? It's very important because it helps the tutor, the course tutor, know the person behind this application. Yes, you have your grades or your CGPA that tells them, oh, you did well, you're a good student, like this, but they need to know you in person. They need to know why you have chosen the course and why they should give you a place as a student, you know, for that course. Now, the first thing we'll be looking at is what a personal statement is. A personal statement is a summary, a review of your person, right? Your work experiences, your academic history, your prospects as your future prospects, your hobby skills that are relevant to that course that you have chosen to study. So the first thing that you should also note is that the tutors, the course tutors and the school at large wants to give you an offer, right? So and they don't want to reject you for any reason, and so you have to help them make that process, you know, make that decision easy for them by preparing your personal statement and making sure that it is it's something that at first glance course tutor will be like, oh, I want to see more, you know, I want to read more. Now, the structure of your personal statement, I've just said that, but I'm going to say it again. The structure of your personal statement carries an introduction, which otherwise is known as the background. So the introduction has to do with why you have chosen the course. Now, they want to understand that you have a knowledge on the course. Now, you could just do a brief summary of what the course is. You can even go as far as stating the global influence that course has. Now, take for instance public health. We all know what the global influence is, and you can even chip in how much it is so required at a time where the world has been hit by a pandemic. So it will give the course tutor an idea that you know the course you are going for, you know what you're doing. Now, the next thing that you now need to look at very carefully is the first thing you need to look at very carefully is you need to look out for your spelling errors. Make sure that your tenses, you watch your tenses, make sure that your grammar is correct, avoid cliches, you know. And I've gone through a lot of personal statements over the months, and I can spot a good one when I say it, and I can spot that one that is lifted off the internet once I say it. So you can now imagine a course tutor that has probably been a course tutor for years. So imagine that you keep seeing the same thing over and over and over again. So it is very easy to spot out. Now, another reason it's important for you to write your personal statement yourself is that nobody knows you like you do, right? Nobody has been in your experiences. Now you studied a particular course, let's say BS Economics. I didn't study it with you, so I cannot write it exactly as you would write it. So for me, personal statement is like is a demonstration of how much you know the course, a demonstration of how well you know yourself as well, and it's a chance to sell yourself to the course tutor even before they, you know, give you an admission to come to the school to study. So you don't want to miss that chance, you don't want to miss that opportunity. And another thing you look at after the introduction, which carries a brief background of yourself, and then you go ahead with your academic experience. Work experience is another important thing that you need to look out for. Now, and make sure that these experiences are relevant to the course that you are going for, and do not forget to state how well this both your work experience and your academic experience, do not forget to mention how well it has prepared you for the course. Now, do not be ashamed if there are certain limitations. Maybe, for instance, you had to drop out at a certain level, or because you had a low grade because you were sick. Things like that happen. So you have to state it. Oh, I had a limited grade. I didn't meet up with the grade for this course, and so on and so forth. And going forward, state that, oh, you have decided to make up for the time that you have lost by, enrolling in courses that are related to that course. So that gives the tutor the knowledge of the fact that you don't give up, right? You are constantly looking for ways to better yourself. Good. Now, another thing you need to look at is why you are choosing the school. Please note that why you are choosing the course comes before why you are choosing the school. Now, you cannot sell yourself to me if you do not know about me. First of all, let's say I want to hire you for a job, right? I'm taking it out of that context, but it's still related. Let's say I want to hire you for a job, and you just come, oh, I saw your advert on the internet, and so I'm here. And then I ask you, what do we do? You don't know it. Why do you think we should hire you in this place? You don't know it. So that's a no. So you have to know the school. In fact, just know everything about the school and why you have chosen that school. Everybody knows that there are countless schools all over the world, and there has to be one reason, one thing that differs from the other, that makes you want to be a part of that university as a postgraduate student. So you have to state it. Now, going forward, another thing that you need to look at is why you have chosen the country. For instance, why have you chosen the United Kingdom? Now, there's Canada, there is the USA, and they have great schools too. So why didn't you choose those ones? Why are you choosing the United Kingdom? Now, in this case, the matter of motivation comes to play. What is motivating you to choose your course? What is motivating you to choose the school? What is motivating you to choose the country? So you have to state that. Now, the final stage, the final structure of a personal statement will now be your future prospects. Now, what are your future prospects? They are your aspirations, your goals, and now let me narrow it down in a very simplistic manner. For instance, you say, oh, you aspire to be a public health consultant, right? And the course you are going for, maybe public health as well, or any course in the field of health, would help you achieve this goal. It would arm you with the necessary arsenal for today's public health. And then do not forget also to mention what it will do for your country. Now, you are just not going there to learn something and then just leave it like that. You have to apply what you have learned, right? And use it to better your community or your country, and then from there you can also spread to the whole of Africa or the entire world. So first of all, they want to know that, oh, you're coming here, you're going to get knowledge, acquired knowledge, and once you're done, you go back and be a good ambassador of that school. Now, do not also forget to mention that the school will be making a mistake if they do not take you. Not exactly in these words though, but what I'm trying to say is that, present yourself that no doubt you should be taken as a candidate suitable for the course, and how much you will be a good image for the school. You want to be someone who other people look up to. You want to be someone who will inspire other people. Oh, this lady went to BC, this lady went to Coventry, so she's doing very good, so I want to go there, right? So for those of you that are just joining us, welcome, thank you so much. And if you have any questions on what I'm discussing, do not forget to drop them. I'm here to answer you 100%. So I'm going to just go back for those of you that are just joining us, and we have talked about the structure of the personal statement. And the structure of a personal statement has, number one, the introduction, which is otherwise known as a background, that displays your knowledge of the course, right? Your person. and your academic and experience and work experience. That's the next thing that follows. Then if you have any relevant skills that you have required, or it could be like you went for conferences or workshop because you thirst and hunger for that knowledge that you want to acquire, so you went ahead and attended conferences and all of that. Do not forget to mention all of that. And if you enjoy, of course, I'm sure there's nobody that doesn't have hobbies. So if you have hobbies, peradventure they are also relevant to the course, just take them, right? Good. So the next thing that you need to look at is why you are choosing the course. That's the third thing. And the next one, which is the thing, is why you are choosing the school, and why you are choosing the country, and your future prospects. So I have just outlined the structure of a personal statement. Now, another thing we'll be talking about is, because I haven't gone through so many personal statements, for some personal statements, I feel the person is saying, after reading everything, I feel the person is saying, oh, why should I even write a personal statement? You know, in other cases, I feel the person is saying, I don't understand, this is nothing serious, so let me just do whatever I can. Now ask me why I'm saying this. Good. Now, or you probably think that the course tutor don't even read it. Yes, they do. Every word of it, because it's what helps them make a decision either to deny you or to grant you the offer. Right? Good. So I'm going to make a very good example. Somebody one time went to a course overview and lifted the course overview. Now the overview is a summary of what the course, what you should expect the course to do for you, and you know, just tips of the course modules. Yes. The person went there, lifted it from A to Z. If there's even anything that is beyond a Z, I would have included it, but in this case, I only know of A to Z. So the person copied it from A to Z and submitted it. Now imagine that I didn't know that was a course overview. It would have been terrible. I guess at maybe first glance, the tutor would like, this is a waste of time. You know, I shouldn't have read this. So the person lifted it and pasted it with no extra, we didn't even do any extra work. How about now? No, it's not done like that. So you actually think that the course tutor would not know that you have lifted this course overview and then you are presenting it to him as a personal statement. Note that a personal statement is, number one, are you listening? I want to be sure that you're listening to me. Number one, it's a personal statement. Number two, it's a personal statement. And number three, it's still a personal statement. So that means it's a statement that you write for by yourself. From here, it has to be from here. You can't buy it, right? I do know that there are some people who sell you that opportunity. Oh, we can write you a personal statement, so you have to pay certain amount of money. No, don't buy it. It's probably putting you in trouble. Your application can be withdrawn, and you know, they will just, and besides, it doesn't even tell on your image. It's embarrassing, actually. And in this case, it will not only embarrass you, your tutor will also be embarrassed on your behalf. So you want to avoid it by all means. Now, another reason why I said that some people in their personal statement, they didn't state it, but having read it, you can conclude that this is what this person is saying. This person is saying, why should I even write a personal statement saying, if I don't want to the school, why would I apply to the school? So applying to the school alone is enough personal statement. It's enough affirmation that I want to study in this school. No, it's not done that way. I will reiterate, it is your first-hand chance, right, of letting your tutor know you as a person, know your skills, know your abilities, know your capabilities, know your educational history, your person, your work history, and how it is relevant to that course you are coming for. And of course, also convincing the course tutor that you have all it takes to be a great student of that course, and that even after you graduate, you will not stop being a great ambassador of that course. Right? So those are the things to put in mind. Now, moving forward, we're going to look at the things that the personal statement is not. A personal statement, first of all, is not an autobiography. It's not, oh, the story of my life. Some people have there are personal statements where a person say, oh, my name is so and so, I am from so and so state, from one village in a state, and then in the country Nigeria, and then you go. What I see there is that you're trying to burn time, so that by the time you finish, you have 2 sheets or 4 sheets, as the case may be. It is not in the volume of words that you have written. It's the content. It's the fact that, oh, you are presenting it in a professional tone, in a methodical and logical way. So that is what it is. That's why some people even write an A4 sheet, like just on one page of the A4 sheet, like only the front page, and then they get offers. So you see, it's not about the volume of, of the characters that you put in there, right? Another thing is, it is not tales by moonlight. It's not an avenue for you to share tales by moonlight, right? So you are going straight to the point. You are avoiding vagueness. You are avoiding uncertainty. You don't give the tutor an impression that, oh, this person is not certain, this person is still beating around the bush. You are concise. You are straight to the point. You are logical. You are methodical, and you assume a very professional tone. You are not going to be writing that personal statement as though you are gisting with your classmates. For what is what is your course tutor. So it's a formal presentation. Now try as much as possible not to be chatty or humorous. It's not also an avenue for you to show off your sense of humor. And you know that it's very difficult to make somebody who is stressed laugh. It's even difficult to make anybody laugh at all. So imagine a course tutor that is already on his, let's say, 70-something personal statement, and then you are now trying hard to make him laugh. No, you're not a comedian. Otherwise, you should enroll as a, as a stand-up comedian, and don't bother going for the course, right? So leave that out of it. It's a no. Now, another thing is to avoid motivational talks. I know one thing that trends here very well is everybody is a motivational speaker. You don't want to motivate your course tutor, right? He probably has enough motivation already. Yeah, I'm not saying that you should not motivate people, but just keep it minimal. So do not begin to say something like, oh, he that fights and runs away, he used to fight another day. So that's why when I dropped out, I had to prepare myself to come back and fight another day. No, please. It's funny, but it's not needed. Now, as I said earlier, you have to avoid plagiarism. That is copying another person's work, right? Avoid unnecessary quotes. Avoid cliches. What I see sometimes, a lot of times, is cliches. Like, I can practically, once I read the first few words, I can practically predict the next thing that wants to follow it. It shouldn't be so. A personal statement should stand you out. Now, I want to give you a bit of a statistics. Now, there are over 50 students applying for a particular course in a particular school at a time. Good. So now, what stands you out? Right? What should stand you out of the crowd, that massive crowd? Like, for me, I always want to stand out in a way that nobody will see my back. I don't want to stand out as, oh, it was just remaining half score, that I used to pass. No, I want to run and leave you. You not see my back. Are you getting me? I'm resting and I'm taking juice. You are still running. You are still coming. So that's what it should be, right? Make sure you stand out by presenting a very unique, not generic. Because what you see on the internet is generic. You can imagine, like, that hundreds of people go on the internet, they want to know how to write a personal statement. Some of them are tempted to lift those things word for word, from the internet and present it as a personal statement. So you want to avoid that. Avoid generic statements and personal statements. Write your own person. Write your own mind. Write your own experiences. Now, I've seen a personal statement where somebody actually wrote about the experience that they had, and I know I have seen this experience somewhere. before, still from a personal statement. So how is it possible that both of you share an experience so similar, word for word? You know, so it's just really, I think I see a question. Sorry, I see a question. The question says, how long does it take for BCU to reply with an offer? It's been 4 weeks. I applied. Good. Because of the enormous volumes of applications that I've gone for this year, there's been a little delay, right? So it's about 8 to 10 weeks. So what we do as an agency is we make sure we put your name on fast track system. Peradventure, you are willing and able to pay your initial tuition deposit immediately, you get an offer. That's the only criteria, right, that we put you on that fast track. We don't, because a lot of times we put people on fast track systems and then they'll be the ones to disturb you. I want to go as soon as possible, and then you quickly fill the application and, you know, put it on the fast track list, and then the person gets a conditional and an unconditional offer in any case, and then the person calls you, oh, I'm not kind. The ones that are nice will tell you if they can defer. That's still okay. And I don't think I want to do it anymore. So that's for that. Keep the questions coming, right? If you have any questions on what I've said so far, kindly do so. And if you're just joining us, thank you so much for joining us. My name is Providence, and of course this is still Lexi Concepts Limited. Good. There's another thing that you need to know, and that is the fact that you have to answer the question of why should you be taken for the course. Giselle, give me a few seconds, please. Yes. So you have to answer in every paragraph, why should I choose you? Now this is the course tutor now. I am your course tutor. So I'm asking you, paragraph 1, why should I grant you an offer as a postgraduate student for MPH, for instance? That's Masters of Public Health. And then paragraph 2, why should I still grant you the offer? So make sure that even as I've outlined the structure of how to write a personal statement, make sure that you answer the question of why you should be granted that offer. Now, a personal statement is often around 500 words, but it varies from school, except otherwise stated by the school that, oh, it should be 800 words or less or so. But what matters is that you have a well-structured personal statement. Now, and do not forget to talk about the course modules. Maybe you can just speak about 1 or 2, you know, of the course modules. In here, we call it a course outline, right? So you talk about 1 or 2 of the course modules and how it tallies with your desires for that course, right? Make sure that you make it really compelling. Make it compelling and let the course tutor read it and be proud of you, right? And know that, oh, you're really standing out. So I've not seen questions so far. It's just 1 questions about an offer. So I want to assume that every one of you know how to write a personal statement. Yes, I can beat my chest because you're not asking me questions. I can beat my chest that you can write a proper personal statement. So just give me a few seconds. So why should you write your personal statement yourself? I've said this before, I'm saying it again. I'm sounding it so many times because it's been a challenge. Yeah, it's been a challenge. A lot of people come and then they write personal statements that you want to be like, oh, really, did you really do this? So why should you write it yourself? Number 1, it's your personal statement. I will not be able to write it for you. I can only, if there's those people that you pay to write, they just beat about the bush and, you know, carry from here to here. And there are chances that the personal statements will look alike. I heard something one time, and this question was asked: if all Nigerian students, if all Nigerian students write from the same source, or if they think the same way. Have you wondered why that question was asked? It's because most of the personal statements are looking alike. And I can tell you why again, because people are lifting from the internet. So, and it is wrong. It is not really corruption. It's not only when you do other things. You know what we call corruption here. It's not only what those one that you this one too is corruption, because you are lifting up the internet. You are speaking another person's mind. You're speaking another writer's mind, and that shouldn't be so. Good. So another thing is your course tutor will spot one hand that, oh, you actually lifted this thing off the internet, because it's their job. They've been doing this. They've been reading personal statements, and they know when they see something. In fact, their head would have been too full. They can actually read from A to Z what it will be, because this is what they go through all the time. Now, another reason why you should write it yourself is that it is your chance to sell yourself. Now, when they say sell yourself, it means tell them who you are. When you see me pass, you don't know who I am until I talk to you about who I am. And I'm not just going to come and say, oh, my name is Providence. I wake up every morning, I boil water for my tea, I bath hot water, there are things that I like, this is what I eat every day, and I stop there. What do I have to show more of who I am? That is, as far as I'm concerned, that is just one part of who I am. What about my aspirations? What about my goals? What about my ambitions? What about my experiences? What about my plans, both short and long-term plans for the future? So I want you to keep that in mind always whenever you want to write a personal statement. Don't be scared. It's not like you are writing a professional exam, and people write professional exams and they pass. So it's not a big deal. So I think another problem is because people see it as oh, one big thing, oh, you're scared. No, as long as you know what to write, there's no point to be scared. Even when you don't know, do research again, ask people, who have written personal statements, oh, how did you do it? Let them talk to you about it. And how to prepare for a personal statement is research. You have to do your research. That's number one. Number two, you don't have to come just one day and write the personal statement at once. No, you have grammatical errors, spelling errors, and so many things that may show you off as someone who doesn't know what they're doing. So that's why you need to take your time. You before you even apply, before you come to us for an application, you can take 2 weeks, depending on your ability. You can take 2 weeks before, prepare it stage by stage, and once you are done, proofread it again. And if you are still not convinced, even when you are convinced, because there are a lot of times that you think, oh, I just blasted this thing now, there's no spelling error, no, and then you give it to someone else to read, and the person says, wait a minute, yes, and you I didn't see it, yeah, that's because your eyes might not be enough. Your eyes alone might not be enough. So you need to call a second person. You can call maybe your lecturer or an academic, somebody who can help. You just ask them, so this is what I've written, kindly proofread it and get back to me if I have done well, if there's anything I need to take out or add, right? So that's what you should do. So in that way, you will be prepared even before sending in your documents for application. You won't be in a hurry to write and then you just misfire, right? So going back to the talk before I go further, or before I even go, what's the time? Okay, so another one of the things it's not one of the things, I've said so many things here today. I've talked about what a personal statement is. I've talked about the structure of a personal statement. Good. In fact, these things I'm saying, if you can get a pen to write it down, it will help. Because knowing something helps you a long way to do it, right? If you do not know what the personal statement is, you don't even know where to start in the first place, right? So now, look at what a personal statement is. What is the structure? What is the content of a personal statement, right? How do you go about writing this personal statement? How many words should be in a personal statement? What is the rules? What is the rule of writing a successful personal statement? What should I do? What should I not do? So put this at the back of your mind, and I promise you that you will be writing an explosive personal statement, right? So before I go, I am going to start from the top again. of what a personal statement is. A personal statement, as I said, is people are still joining in, so welcome. So a personal statement is a brief summary, a brief overview of who you are. Another thing you should know, very importantly, is that it is your chance to getting the course tutor to know you firsthand. They've not met you. You have only put in an application. So that's like a meeting in your head that happens between the mind. You can call it a mind meeting. I just generated one word now, mind meeting. Yes. So you call it's a mind meeting where your mind is speaking to his mind. So I want you to picture yourself when you are writing a personal statement. Picture it this way, that this person is in front of me. I am speaking to this person. There are ways you write and it feels as though it comes in a voice, under a voice. It feels as though you are speaking, right? But you're not, you're writing. So that is where the question of tones come in. There is a way you send somebody a message on WhatsApp and the person is like, this person just insulted me. And another person there will be like, how you did not say, so how did you know that this person insulted you? Because there are tones that you assume. Even writing assume tones. There is a tone you assume in your writing and you'll be insultive, you'll be so many things. So you have to check for, your tone of writing. It has to be very professional. Yeah, I know you are a comedian, you are very funny, but please do not extend it to a personal statement, right? Do not use excessive ambiguous words. What's that? You know the word, but in this case it does not have any relationship with the sentence that you have just put it in. It sends a bad signal to your course tutor. So if you must use any huge words, big grammars, make it safe. Make sure that it does its job. Work of a grammar in a sentence, that it does the job, right? Good. So I will talk about the introduction and the structure of the introduction of a personal statement. The second thing that you need to talk about is your educational and work history. How it is relevant to the course that you are going for. For instance, you are going for project management. You may have worked, even if you didn't really study, you may have worked somewhere, right, as a project manager. So that is very relevant in this case. And do not forget to mention again why you have chosen the course after your work experience and your academic experience or background history. Now do not forget to mention why you have chosen the course. What has motivated you to choose that course, to go for that course? There are 1,001 courses. Yes, I know there is a question of what you studied as your BSc, so it should tally with what you're going for your MSc. I know there's a question of that in some cases, in most cases, but you can actually go ahead to state what has motivated you, what has inspired you. Now, for someone who is going for a health course, right, a health related course, that person, you can peradventure, there are people, peradventure you actually have this experience that I want to talk about, because it's people's experience. People have experienced it. You could go, the person, I read something where somebody said, I have chosen to go into health because I've chosen a health course as a master's of public health because I stayed with my grandmother and I was very fond of her, and yeah, she passed because of the negligence on the part of the healthcare givers. And so I vowed that no, I am going to make sure this doesn't happen to another person. Yeah, I lost that fight with that one because I wasn't prepared. I didn't have the knowledge, I didn't have the skills. So I decided to give someone another chance. Someone, who would not end up losing his or her grandmother again by becoming a healthcare practitioner, so that I can help. Now, take Nigeria for instance. A lot of things should motivate you to want to study most courses. You know that there is a shortage of adequate health supply. Health supply. So now that is enough motivation if you are going for a health course. That is enough motivation to move you, to inspire you to want to study a healthcare course, health related course, as it will not only be advantageous to you or your family, but to the Nigerian system as a whole. Or you can even go as far as saying that, oh, all the good doctors and nurses have traveled abroad, because you know why. They have traveled abroad and they are over there, you know, but you want to learn and come back. Because if all the good doctors who know their onions, if they are all out of Nigeria, the health system will be devastated. It will crumble. So you intend to go study that course to be back. That yes, you're aware that you may not be able to pull it up all by yourself, but you believe in progress. You believe in process. You believe in hard work. You believe in commitment. You believe in doing something over and over again. So I've just given you an example. Another example of what should motivate you for someone who wants to be a lawyer, or who wants to study international human rights law, and the person may have been molested, and you decide, oh, I want to, and then you didn't get justice. Oh, I want to stand up. It could be cases of domestic abuse and, you know, discrimination against a certain gender, right? And then you want to stand up and be the voice to those people. So that is a very wonderful motivation. Not saying that I was motivated because I watched one movie where I don't even know how to put the story, so let me just go ahead. So you do not, make sure that you do not state that, right? So I will talk about this. I want you to have at the back of your mind that we'll always be here, you know, to tell you the right things to do, to teach you, to prep you. If you have a problem, yeah, a lot of people have come to us, oh, I don't even know how to go about the personal statement, right? And we'll teach them, we'll tell them, oh, this is what to do, this is what to do. We won't write it for you. It's called a personal statement, and it is professionally wrong. We won't do it for you. So that's why you have to do it yourself. Most times I've had to send back a personal statement. Even my colleague, I have to send back a personal statement because it doesn't meet standard. How does somebody just, is number one offense that you copied and pasted it, and now it's now in 200, what am I saying, in less than 100 words? How about that's just too big. It's too much. Where do we start from? So most times we send back personal statements and tell them, oh no, you didn't do well here, you didn't do well here. Kindly go to the internet, research, and then we give you tips too on how to write personal statements. So if you are coming to us for an application and you do not know how to go about it, just kindly let us know, and then there are people who will teach you how to do that, give you tips, and then send you samples. Look at it. But a sample, yes, before I forget this, a sample is not for you to read and now sample it on your own work and turn the sample to your own sample. No, a sample is to guide you. It's a template to guide you on, okay, this is how a personal statement is written. That way you will not have a difficult time writing a personal statement. And as I said earlier, a personal statement should be around 500 words, except otherwise stated by the school to be more or less, but it should be 500 words. Do not forget to go straight to the point. Do not forget to make sure that you present a concise personal statement, the one that is void of vagueness, that is uncertainty, the one that is logical, the one that is methodical, clearly, orderly arranged. So that is how your personal statement should be. Let me see if I have any questions. Okay, there are no questions here. There are no questions here. Okay, so I'm sure you've had an amazing time with me here talking about how a personal statement should be written, and I want to thank you so much for joining me today. It's actually my first live. Who noticed? Yeah, it is my first live here at Next Day Concept, and I've enjoyed it so far. It's true that you didn't ask me questions. I wanted you to ask me questions, but if you decided on what to ask, you can just locate the DM, just send us a DM, and the appropriate authority will do just that. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Providence, an admission officer. I care about you a lot, yes, especially your application. Thank you so much. Keep joining us every Wednesday. Thank you. Bye.